Dagestan, one of the toughest places on earth, a land that forges warriors out of hardship. Over the past decade, we've seen a wave of UFC killers rise out of this region, fighters molded by fire, ice, and struggle. But among this new breed, one name stands out, a man both feared and controversial. His name is Shara Bullet Magomedov. And his story? It's as wild outside the cage as it is inside of it. But believe it or not, things weren't always this way. As a kid, Shara wasn't a fighter at all. He actually played football. But there was a problem. His bright red hair, extremely rare in Dagestan, made him the target of constant mockery. And when tempers flared on the field, fights broke out. Not because Shara was a bad kid, but because others wouldn't leave him alone. Eventually, he was kicked out of his local football team, and that's when his life took a different turn. After football, Shara discovered boxing, and he was a natural. He stormed through regional tournaments and even picked up international titles. From there, he moved into kickboxing, where he found just as much success. But then, disaster struck. In the 2016 Russian Muay Thai Championship, he suffered an eye injury. At first, Shara brushed it off. He kept training, kept fighting, believing it was nothing. But the pain never went away. By the time doctors checked, his retina had started to detach. He went through 8 surgeries. 8! But in the end, he lost the eye. Most people would have given up, not Shara. With one eye gone, he still stepped into professional combat sports. In late 2017, he made his MMA debut. And he didn't stop there. For 3 months straight, he fought every single month, knocking out 4 men in a row. The bullet had arrived. But there was another side of him, something impulsive, uncontrollable, that would follow him for the rest of his career. The first time fans saw the unhinged side of Magomedov was bizarre. He threw eggs at 2 girls wearing miniskirts in public. When questioned, his response was cold. He said, "Why dress like that?" In society, such people are called low responsibility. If someone bothers you, why act surprised? This twisted philosophy shocked many. But inside the cage, nobody could deny he was a star in the making. Confident no striker on earth could match him, Shara even tested himself in glory kickboxing, where he defeated Blood Diamond, a teammate of Israel Adesanya. Back in Russia, he fought under Nash Dilo, a promotion with unusual rules. Just 30 seconds of ground fighting allowed. Perfect for his striking heavy style. If those fights had counted towards his pro record, the Bullet would be sitting at 17-0 right now. But controversy always seemed close by. In 2022, Shara confronted a man for kissing his girlfriend on an escalator. The man threw the first punch, but Shara waited outside, ambushed him, and brutally stomped his head on the concrete. When he wasn't delivering street justice, Shara was collecting highlight reel knockouts in the Russian Cage Fighting Championships and AFC. One of his most terrifying finishes came against Kushal Vyas. Less than 10 seconds, Kushal was gone. And soon after, the UFC came calling. But if you know Shara, you know nothing comes easy. In 2023, he sparked controversy again. This time by kicking an opponent after being submitted in a jiu-jitsu match. On top of that, he failed 3 drug tests due to traces of Malginate in his system. That forced him to the sidelines for months, until his blood was finally cleared. Only then, after half a year, did the UFC give the green light for his debut. Now, the world is watching. His look, his story, his chaos, everything about Shara Bullet Magomedov grips fight fans like no other. Of course, people hope he matures, but we've seen it before. Young fighters making mistakes before greatness. Still, there's one problem. Who will dare to face him? With his reputation, you can bet Dana White is making calls, and fighters are hanging up. Because when the bullet is in the chamber, nobody wants to be the target. This is Shara Bullet Magomedov, a fighter born in fire, raised in chaos, and forged in violence. Whether you love him or hate him, One thing's for certain. The world will be watching when the bullet finally fires inside the UFC octagon.